Hi, I'm Joan Newcomb, and today's Mystic Minute is mystical interventions. What is a mystical intervention? Well, I think of those times where something unexpected happens that seems to come in out of the blue, comes in from out of left field, and it is a sudden surprise, a change in direction. It's sometimes you're stuck in a rut and suddenly something happens and it just helps give you the nudge to move you forward. And I think of them as mystical interventions because of the mystery of the unknown and something we can't intellectually define. And usually what it is that we are stuck in our own minds. Whatever we've been dealing with, we have been running along, a certain mindset, a certain focus, and it's really a helpful thing, even though sometimes it feels disruptive because it knocks us off our course, but really in some way it knocks us onto a course, onto a new course, or more into an aligned direction. Mystical interventions are always a reminder of the unseen. It is a reminder that there is a greater awareness in the world, a greater consciousness to be accessed in the world. And most of us we're just sort of, wandering along in our own little way of seeing things. And that's when you feel stuck. That's where you feel frustrated that you're not able to manifest the reality that you want. You're not creating the reality that you want, and you want it now. And as you can hear, all those aspects are not the greater wisdom that you are and not the greater consciousness that you are. It is the little self, the little will, the body personality aspect that wants something bigger to happen, but is doing it from its own little mindset. Most of the time, these things seem to happen unbidden, out of the blue, as I said, unexpected, and definitely outside our realm of control. And there's also a time where you can ask for it. You know that you're stuck. You know that you need a nudge in the right direction. And that's where you're opening up to receiving on a greater level. Now, we're going to see instances of this happening more and more in the world today anyway, because there's a greater consciousness that is coming into form. That means we are able to embody more of our higher awareness, more than we ever have been able to before. And with that sense of higher awareness, we will be able to navigate from that greater awareness, navigate from that 5D perspective in this 3D world. But while we're still kind of crawling along, feeling our way, not quite certain what to do with all this extra energy, it's helpful to be open to that greater consciousness. It's easy to get tripped up thinking that you are operating as your greater consciousness, and a clue that you're not is when you're being like this about it. I am my greater consciousness. I don't have anyone to need to ask or connect with. I can willfully do it myself. You can hear that's the smaller part of you. And it's not you necessarily opening up to something that you need to give up seniority to. It's really giving over to the highest aspect that is the essence of who you are. And that is the level that we're all shifting to. So we're no longer these little tiny ants with this great vengeful divine thing above us. We're more conscious beings in this physical form, opening to the greater consciousness that we are. When you approach it that way, your whole perspective of life changes, your whole interaction with life changes, and you become more in charge of your reality because you're coming from this expanded viewpoint. The frustration melts away, the effort melts away. And how you get from the space of efforting to the no effort is to be open. Be open to a mystical intervention and see what happens in your life. And if you like these videos, you can subscribe to them on YouTube. You can also sign up below to get them in your inbox. If you want to know more, my website is joan-newcomb.com. I put out a weekly radio show and podcast. I also write a weekly blog and newsletter. I do meetups around the Puget Sound in Seattle, Bellevue, Tacoma, and University Place. I do monthly webinars. And if you want to know more about how to navigate your life as consciousness, how to really bring your greater 5D self into physical form and experience a more effortless way of creating on a scale bigger than you could have imagined, go to joan-newcomb.com and look at my coaching programs. So go to joan-newcomb.com and I'll see you in another couple days with another Mystic Minute.